spoke with this completely different authoritative voice. Over his lifetime, he gave more than 14,000 documented readings.
And it wasn't just about medical advice. He actually predicted the 1929 stock market crash. Then, in the mid-1930s, he started warning about a Second World War that would be started by Germany. He even predicted the exact day of his own death. Now look, to be fair, skeptics correctly point out that a lot of his readings were vague and plenty of them didn't come true. But the sheer number of specific, documented hits, well, it continues to baffle researchers to this day.
Okay, let's shift gears. We're moving from prophecies about the future to echoes from the earth, mysteries that have literally been unearthed, revealing some shocking stories from our past.
So 1999, way up high on a volcanic peak between Chile and Argentina, archaeologists are digging at 22,000 feet. They're expecting to find the usual stuff, bone fragments, maybe some pottery. What they found instead left them completely speechless. 3 children from the Inca civilization, frozen for 500 years, but so perfectly preserved they looked like they had just fallen asleep.
So why were they there? The reason was a sacred and pretty solemn Inca ritual called Capacocha. The most perfect children in the empire were chosen as offerings to the gods. They were given alcohol and coca leaves to sedate them, then taken up to the highest mountain peaks and just left to freeze. It was a sacrifice meant to keep their people prosperous.
The most famous of the 3 is this 15-year-old girl. She's known as La Doncella, or the Maiden. And her preservation is so flawless that scientists have actually been able to analyze her hair and her DNA. They're unlocking secrets about the Inca diet, their health, their genetic history. It's like a direct window into a world that vanished 5 centuries ago.
Our next echo from the earth doesn't come from some sacred mountain, but from a much more modern mystery. We're still talking about holes in the ground, but trust me, this one is way, way stranger.
So let's go to 1997. A man named Mel Waters calls into a popular late-night radio show with this absolutely incredible claim. On his property out in rural Washington, there was a hole that, for all anyone could tell, was bottomless.
Mel's stories were just wild. He said he'd lowered a weighted fishing line down there and let out over 80,000 feet. That's almost 24 kilometers, and never hit the bottom. He said locals used it as a garbage dump, but anything you threw in never made a sound. He even told a story about a neighbor who threw his dead dog into the hole, only to see that exact same dog alive and well walking around in the woods later. But then, the story took an even darker turn. According to Mel, these mysterious government agents showed up. They sealed off the whole area, claiming there was some kind of environmental test going on, and paid him a ton of money to lease his land and get out of the country. After that, both Mel Waters and any official record of his hole